Hello, and welcome to the Safe Sanctuary training of Cypress United Methodist Church. All adults working with children, youth, or protected persons must be trained in Safe Sanctuary. We would also like our general church members to be trained as well to be aware of our policies. The purpose of Safe Sanctuary. Cypress United Methodist Church is committed to providing an environment that is as safe as possible for children, youth, and vulnerable adults who participate in any Cypress UMC ministry. Cypress UMC is also committed to taking the necessary precautions to protect any person working in a Cypress UMC ministry from false accusations or suspicions. Safe Sanctuary applies to any church-sponsored activity on or off campus involving children, youth, vulnerable adults in which parents or legal guardians have given consent but are not present, including but not limited to Sunday school, vacation Bible school, small groups, special needs ministry, mission trips, confirmation, weekend retreats, gathering place. Some definitions you will see throughout the training. Protected person, children and or youth under the age of 18 and or vulnerable persons participating in any ministry. Worker, a person in a position of trust with protected persons such as clergy, staff, teachers, hall monitors, VBS guides, youth workers, etc. Youth workers under the age of 18 shall not be placed in a position of supervision. Adult supervision shall be required for such workers. All volunteers must complete a volunteer application, complete the background check process, complete Safe Sanctuary training, and submit 2 character references. The 2-worker rule. A minimum of 2 workers must be present where protected persons are participating. In the event that this rule cannot be maintained, a roamer must be present in the area and will regularly check on activities. When family members work together, an additional worker must be present. Other exceptions to the 2-worker rule include escorting protected persons between buildings or in hallways, monitoring the arrival or departure, and in cases of emergency care. On-campus policies. Doors must be kept open. In case of Dutch doors, the top half shall be kept open. A worker should never be left alone with a protected person behind a closed door. Classes must remain in assigned location. If there is a change, a sign should be placed on door. Workers must wear their name tags while working on campus in a ministry. What not to do. Threatening or intentionally inflicting emotional or physical injury, committing any sexual offense or engaging in any sexual contact, engaging in verbal, visual, or physical conduct of a sexual nature, back rubs, massages, kissing, etc. Physical discipline such as spanking, inappropriate physical touching, spiritual or emotional coercion. Diaper changing. Diaper changing must be done in the open and not behind closed doors. A second worker in room must be in line of sight. Keep one hand on the baby while he or she is on the changing table. Wear gloves and use wipes when changing diapers. Place changing sheet on changing table. Dispose when finished. Preschool restroom policy. If a classroom has a restroom in it, allow the child to go on their own. Workers are not allowed to enter the restroom while a child is using it. If they do need help, you may enter the restroom while keeping the door open. Notify the other worker to be in the line of sight of the restroom. If using hallway restrooms, send kids in to use the restroom. Adults and youth volunteers cannot go into the restroom with the child. If a child does need assistance, please find another adult or youth volunteer to enter the restroom with you and leave the door open. Elementary restroom policy. Never go into the restroom with a child. This includes adult and youth volunteers. If a child does need assistance, please find another adult or youth volunteers to enter the restroom with you and leave the door open. All adults, avoid being in restroom alone with a protected person. If a protected person is in the restroom, wait outside until they exit before you enter. Hugs and comfort. Kids need hugs. Touching to comfort or affirming a child in an age-appropriate manner is permitted. For example, it is appropriate for a 3-year-old to sit in a teacher's lap, but it is not appropriate for a teenager to sit in a youth leader's lap. Side hugs are the best. Hugs and comfort is only acceptable in public. Be aware of each child and youth's level of comfort with physical boundaries. Discipline. Our goal is to create spaces where all kids are safe to learn and free to connect with God. Be aware of the possible reasons for misbehaving: hungry, sleep deprived, needing attention. Approach these children and ask what is bothering them and causing their misbehaving. Then use the rules and consequences below. Rules: love others, love God, love myself. Consequences. Number 1, a warning. State the behavior that needs to be changed. Number 2, remove from an activity. Explore with further discussion why this behavior is reoccurring. 3, remove from room. See the director team. 4, parents called. The director team will contact the parents. Additional policies for student ministry. The 2-worker rule shall be followed, except noted below. Planned one-on-one worker-youth lunches, provided they are held in public places, must receive signed permission from parent, director has been notified, and separate transportation is to be used. Conferences. The conference is for a relatively brief time. Inform another worker at the beginning and end of the meeting, and on-campus policies must be followed. A worker may pick up or drop off a youth at their home provided written permission has been given by parent. We strongly suggest you follow the 2-worker rule. Social media and texting. Employees and volunteers who choose to use social media and texting as a means of communication must stay within the safe sanctuary policy boundaries. Employees and volunteers may not transmit any content that is illicit, unsavory, abusive, pornographic, discriminating, harassing, or disrespectful when communicating with protected persons. If a person uses an instant messaging application or text, it must be in a group context and/or include parent. Examples of social media include, but are not limited to, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. Overnight and trip rules. The 2 adult rules shall be followed throughout the trip. The ratio of adults to protected persons shall be approximately 1 to 6. If the group of protected persons contains both males and females, there shall be at least 1 female worker and 1 male worker on the trip. Driving rules. When 1 vehicle is used for an event, the 2 adult rule applies. When multiple vehicles are used for an event, a single worker may drive if all the vehicles travel together. Occupants must wear seatbelts at all times. Protected persons 12 years and younger shall not sit in the front seat of vehicles. Child abuse. All volunteers are to be familiar with the definitions and descriptions of child abuse, as defined by the National Committee for Prevention of Child Abuse. Physical abuse. Non-accidental injury, which may include beatings, violent shakings, human bites, strangulation, suffocation, poisoning, or burns. The results may be bruises and welts, broken bones, scars, permanent disfigurement, long-lasting psychological damage, serious internal injuries, brain damage, or death. Neglect. The failure to provide for a child with basic needs, including food, clothing, education, shelter, medical care, abandonment, and inadequate supervision. Sexual abuse. The sexual exploitation of a child by an older person, as in rape, incest, pornography, inappropriate touching, etc. Emotional maltreatment, a pattern or behavior that attacks a child's emotional development and sense of self worth, such as constant criticizing, belittling, insulting, manipulation, also lack in providing love, support, or guidance. What should you do if you suspect or witness abuse? Report the suspected abuse or violation of the safe sanctuary policies immediately to the ministry director or clergy. You'll be asked to work with the ministry director or clergy to complete an incident report. All reports will be taken seriously and acted upon appropriately. Please note, do not interview the child regarding suspected abuse. The interview process will be handled by trained personnel. Do not discuss the suspected abuse. All information regarding suspected abuse is confidential. Fire emergency procedure. If the fire alarm goes off, the building should be evacuated. Gather the protected persons and count how many are with you. Take your roster or sign-in sheet with you. Proceed to the nearest exits. Maps are located in the classrooms with a primary and secondary route, as well as whereas you need to meet. When you get to your location, check your roster to make sure you have everyone. Do not release any children or youth until you verify you have everyone. Wait for the all clear. Medical emergencies. Volunteers should make note of any health condition or allergies of protected persons in their care. These can be found on sign-in sheets. First aid kits can be found in various areas. Look for first aid sign. All children's Sunday school classrooms and nursery, ministry activity center kitchen, closet by the sanctuary's women's restroom, Wesley desk, children's ministry volunteer room, which is located upstairs from the park, all have first aid kits. Do not hesitate to call 911 if necessary. Contact a staff person as soon as possible. Be prepared to document the incident, including the treatment that was given. An AED is located in the Ministry Activity Center lobby and Wesley desk. Ice can be found in all kitchens. Intruder on campus. If a stranger enters the building or classroom, the worker should contact a staff member via GroupMe app or the walkie-talkies. Everyone will close the doors to the rooms they're in and lock them if you have the capability, or put heavy furniture in front of the door. Close all blinds and turn out the lights. Teachers will take roll. Those who are not in a classroom at the time of the lockdown should slip into the nearest room. People should move to a place in the classroom with the least visibility from the door or window and remain silent. Teachers will take roll after the all clear is given by the staff. Your next steps. Congratulations, you have completed Safe Sanctuary training. If you have any questions or concerns, contact the ministry director. Please complete the form stating you have completed Safe Sanctuary and turn into business department or your ministry director. Thank you. Thank you for volunteering at Cypress United Methodist Church, and thank you for working with our children, youth, and vulnerable persons. We truly appreciate your service to our ministries.